Today, my guest is Ogburn Charles. He is the author of the book Passage. Thank you for coming on, man.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So I found you on the internet, and it said that you've been in, I don't know how many paranormal investigations and thousands upon thousands, and that's my kind of stuff, man. I love talking about that stuff. I love hearing about it.
Let's get it going.
Yeah, I've never had I don't know if I've kind of had a paranormal experience, but we can get into that later. But just go ahead and tell me about, all the stuff you're into in your book and everything, and we can just start from there.
Well, Passage is out on Amazon right now for 99 cents. It's also out on Draft Digital worldwide. Just about any venue you go to, I just type in Passages by Ogburn Charles, and it's going to come up. I've been around the world twice.
Wow.
And each place I've been around, there's been a different legend. There's been a different entity. There's been a different paranormal experience. I'll start in the United States because that's where I'm at now. The latest one I just had was I have this. A long time ago, I got involved in a possession case in the Green River area in Kentucky. And ever since then, I've had this one entity. I call him Fred for lack of his actual name. I haven't been able to find that out yet, but I'm still working on it. And he keeps coming back every now and then, creating total havoc in my life. So I know that he's a demon. I just haven't figured out exactly what layer he is yet, what level. And once I get to know that, then I can deal with him better. I keep him at bay. I keep him at arm's length, basically. But he's always around.
So I have like a million questions about that. I was reading that in your bio about the demon Fred. When was your first reaction with this guy or interaction?
Like I said, in Green River, Kentucky, back in '97. That's when all this all started.
So it's been following you for that long?
It's been following me for that long. I've kept it away. I've used just about everything in the arsenal to keep it away, including holy water. I've talked to practitioners of the craft. I've done a lot of different things to keep this guy away. It's a male, I know that. And when he shows up, there's all kinds of different odors, sulfurous odors, foul odors like trash, rotting trash, etc., etc. That's when I know he's around.
It says in the Bible that you can cast him out through Jesus' name. Have you ever tried that?
Yes, I have.
Did it work?
Temporarily.
Yeah, and then he just comes back.
Yeah, he came back. It's kind of like the unwanted shoe. You find it here, then you find it there.
Have you seen him, or is it just like some kind of weird presence?
I've seen him actually. I have a sketch of him. I don't have it with me at the moment. It's actually in another book. It's actually in another book that I'm about to put out now called Ghost. We'll get into that in a couple moments, I think.
Okay, sure.
And he's a winged entity. To describe him, it's kind of like he's got all kinds of scars, tissue, of rotten smell. Imagine somebody that just, like some of these movies where you see a guy beat another guy 3/4 to death and then magnify that by 5.
Dang.
That's what it looks like.
Weird. Like
yeah,
it's been like he's been tormented or something.
Yeah. I've had, I believe it was Fred when I was up at a state park that was haunted in Pennsylvania a few years ago. And I was doing an investigation there with the team that I was linked up with. And we took a picture. I can send all these pictures to you later on.
Yeah, please. I'd like to see that for sure.
And we took a picture of him. He was about 16 feet tall. And the audio recording it was rather interesting. And it says, "I will see you in hell." That's what he said.
Wait, hold on. Wait, you saw a 16-foot demon?
I saw a 16-foot translucent something. We weren't able to pull it out of the picture all the way.
Where?
up in a park in Pennsylvania.
In a park at
Yeah,
night?
no, it's been during broad daylight. I
What?
have I have these pictures and everything. And it's like I
Dude,
will send them to you so you can post them up. I'll
please.
give you permission to do that.
Awesome.
And the audio, like I said, said, "I will see you in hell."
There's audio?
Yeah, there's audio too.
What?
I'm not kidding you. I've got full bodies. I got full body apparitions.
This
There's a place in Fallsington, Pennsylvania, where some of the founding fathers actually went to. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I'm listening. Um
Okay.
I, go ahead.
And there was this one other entity that came around, and it was following us all over the place. I got my second full body apparition on a church in Fallsington. The second floor was missing. They were replacing it and was standing at the window looking out. It was actually a person of period wearing that white cap that they wear back from the 1700s. He was dressed in period. It was all translucent and very blue. And it probably was the filter I was using on the camera at the time, but that's what I have. Again, I have that picture.
That's amazing. Like I want to see that badly.
I'll
Most
send it to
people
you.
like, yeah, most people that like say, "Oh, I've been ghost hunting and I did this." There's never any pictures, hardly any audio, you know. So I don't know what I would do if I saw an actual ghost. I don't know what the hell I would do. Did you
Well,
get
there's
scared?
no, actually, I was more intrigued. I literally ran down to the area and I looked in there and I said, "There's no second floor." Okay, something's up.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
crazy, man.
yeah,
So you said you've been around the world. Like what
yes.
like as a job, like it's your job to like go look for ghosts and stuff, or how does that?
No, I travel. I travel a
Oh,
lot,
okay.
and
Oh,
well, not so
nice.
much in the last 2 years, but that's nobody's traveled much in the
Yeah,
last 2 years.
yeah, yeah.
But I was in the military for a time, and that took me around the world the first time. The second time, I traveled on my own.
Cool. Did you go to like historic sites and find haunted places and stuff?
Historic sites, haunted places, haunted graveyards. There's
Oh,
actually, for the phrase Timbuktu, probably there's actually a Timbuktu. I've been there, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And
so
then go ahead.
go ahead. So does aliens and demons are they related in somehow as far as in the fourth dimension or anything like that? Do you think?
Well, that's an interesting question because dimensional travel is something that does happen. There's a lot of sites that I've been to where you can actually step through,
No.
and yeah, you step
No.
through them and you lose time. And when you lose time, you're wondering what just happened. Because in one case, to answer your question directly, first off, demons and aliens, some people consider them to be the same. My own personal experience is that they're probably quite different.
Okay. So what were we saying about the portals? Yeah, keep going with that.
There's portals. There's a couple places in Pennsylvania. One's called Hell's Gate. There's another one out in Arizona, Sedona. Most people go out there and they say they have a very pleasant experience with it. Again, another picture I have from, and they say that this place is not haunted. It's a federal park. It's called Gettysburg.
Hmm.
There's a place there called Devil's Den. The official line is that it is not haunted. The official line from Valley Forge is it's not haunted. They're both haunted. I have the proof.
Damn.
So at Devil's Den, there was a battle fought between the Union and the Confederacy at that time. There was a lot of death and everything else. I have audio and a picture of one of the spirits named Henry. He was killed there. We had a conversation and he posed with a picture with me. I have him in
What?
the picture. Yes, I have him in the picture.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. No way.
Yeah, I have him in the picture.
What?
You can't see him like I'm looking at you and you're looking at me right now. It's more like
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's kind of like
straight
some
up and
kind of
down.
wow, man. That's
Yeah, I
in
have that picture. And also I have one of a dimensional door.
what?
Yeah, there's a field in Gettysburg where they won't let you walk into across from Devil's Den.
Why is that?
Nobody, they won't explain. They just say you're not allowed in there. At the top of that hill, there's a statue. That's the only stone in the entire park, according to what one ranger told me, that you can't climb on top of because they will arrest you instantly. Why? They never explained. But directly underneath of that, as I was standing in Devil's Den, I angled the camera over there because we were hearing cannon shots and screams coming out of the blue. Nowhere. We're just like, what the heck's going on? Turn around, started doing 360 camera shots. In one of them, I have what looks like a dimensional door. You can actually see something on the other side. I still haven't been able to figure out what it is.
So there's like maybe some kind of aberration of like a physical door, and it's like cracked open, and there's like something behind it or something.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if there's so much of anything that you can really see behind it because it's darkened, and there's some sort of light behind it a little bit that you can see, kind of like, I'll liken it to like stars or something. But you can actually see there's a shape of a door, and it's sitting there right in front of me, maybe 600 feet away.
So you said that you heard screaming and cannons?
We heard screaming, we heard cannons coming in from that doorway.
Is there any way that there's maybe some type of parallel timeline or something that maybe that was going down the actual war, like when you were there or something?
Science has said that there's a possibility of other dimensions that's in the literature these days.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer in it because I've seen it. I've seen these other places.
Yeah.
And it's like, that one particularly scared me because it's not that far away. And if it was an active door, in my own opinion, that if I walk through it, I might end up in the battle.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy crap, dude.
There's so much.
So how come, do you think that you were some kind of beacon, or there's some kind of energy around you that kind of, you're like piercing the veil somehow than most people? Because most people don't see nothing, you know?
Well, I don't usually put this out, but I will, and I'm putting it out to you now, and you're putting it out over YouTube, so I'm kind of like outing myself. I'm a medium. I've been one for a long time.
Wow.
I've been one. The first time I noticed it was 9 years old, when I had a little spirit girl named Sally playing with me in my bedroom. And it's been going on ever since. A lot of people in the Northeast know of me and everything else. Ogburn Charles is my pen name. I use it to honor my father, who passed on when I was young. They know who I am and everything else. And when they see me, they go, I know you. So, but the thing is, with spirits, ghosts, demons, elves, well, not so much elves, but sprites, fairies, they're real.
Do you think that's where the stories came from? Just someone like you, like from a long time ago, saw them and like just like wrote them into stories, and they're like, oh, it's a fairy tale, but it's real.
Every legend has a basis in fact. Something happened to kick that legend off, and they've been writing about it. Now take that for what it's worth and think about it for a second. Most of this stuff is real, but most of these people say, I'm from Missouri, show me. Half the people are going to look at this on YouTube, say, this guy is full of it. I can prove everything I'm saying.
I definitely want to see those pictures. So what would you say to someone that has never seen a ghost and says it's a lie?
In the book Ghost, I'll out a little bit of the storyline. There was a gentleman named Ron, when I was living up north, who didn't believe in spirits. And I was with a paranormal group at the time. I'm sitting there, I'm saying, well, if you don't believe me, why don't you come with me? I mean, it's nothing else except walking around in the cemetery all night long.
Yeah.
So we're out there. He shows up in his own car. And we're standing at this one evergreen tree, and he takes a picture, and there's this bright white orb right there in front of him, but he can't see it with his eyes. That's what most people say. I can't see it with my eyes. I don't believe it. Well, the camera can see things you can't. So what happens is that he says, what's that? I said, it's probably a spirit. He takes another shot. It's not there. Start taking shots 360. So he's taking shots 360. It's a digital camera. He picked it up in a tree about 3 or 4 feet away. Okay, walk over towards it. Take another picture. It's gone. Okay, angle up in the trees and start looking around. It was in a tree about 15 feet up. So he's tracking this thing from point A to B to C. Okay, now he says, what is it? I said, it's probably a disembodied spirit. He says, ghosts don't exist. About that time, something proved the point to him. It yelled in his ear. The last I saw of him was his white sneakers running for his car. He had it proven to him.
Dang. Did he talk to you after that? Did you ever hear from him again?
Yeah, he said that he told his mother about it, and his mother yelled at him, "Don't play with dead people."
Oh yeah. That's why that's why I wonder, like, are you opening some kind of gate or something? Maybe.
Some people do. Some people are natural attractants. Hand up in the air. This stuff shows up. There's every year for the past 12 years, I've had what they call spiritual 911s. Somebody doing something, somebody playing with something, somebody going where doing something they're not supposed to do or they're not prepared for. And I get a phone call or I get an email. I have a specific email that I use for 911s. It's the only time I ever use it is around 3 months before and 3 months after of Halloween, what they call Samhain in the craft. And I get a lot of information from people. It's like, I just bought this device. I'm using it. So other people don't have anything happen to them. Some people touch it. They have an innate sense. Bang, they've got a problem. So I got to go fix it.
So do you do like exorcisms, or do you just try to, is it always like a demon, or do you have like alien encounters? Have you ever seen an alien or anything like that? Or
I have not seen aliens. I've seen a lot of pictures of aliens online. I think it's probably the only thing I haven't seen yet. The I don't know what that's all about. I believe that you're probably not alone. The galaxy is way too big for us to be here by ourselves. Come on, I mean, for real.
Well, my favorite quote is, we're either completely alone or we're not alone, and they're equally as terrifying.
I could go for that.
Either way, it's terrifying.
Yeah. Where I'm living right now, I'm on a 25-acre farm. I'm looking out the window right now. When I first got here, the first day that we moved into the house, I saw a bright light at the end of the field about 400 yards away from here. And it just slowly faded out. I'm like, there's something here. So I'm walking around cleaning out things, getting stuff ready for the planting season. And I see a rock with an etching on it. That rock was 1929 graveyard.
What? They sold you a graveyard?
There's a grave site out there. Back in those days, they put people in the grave in the house.
Oh yeah,
Right
it's
on the
true.
property.
Right, just right on the lawn.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
That means I probably have a spirit running around here someplace. There's been some activity in the house and outside. Most of the time, pretty benign, but a couple of weeks ago, we got what sounded like somebody dropped a boulder on top of the house.
Dang, what was it?
And nothing. There was nothing happened. I went outside and looked. I figured a tree hit the house or something. There's nothing there. That's one of the signs that I've learned over the years being an investigator as well as a medium, that something just arrived. So I took care of that issue, and there hasn't been any problem since.
What did you do?
I went and I visited a friend of mine who gave me 4 railroad spikes made out of iron.
Cool.
Iron is one of those things that you use to keep malevolent entities away.
Iron? Just regular iron?
You can use just regular iron. I used iron railroad spikes. Now you use that with a specific herb. Some people use sterno, dip it in sterno, light it on fire and pound it into the ground. Other people use incantations. It depends on what your flavor of the day is. There's no specific route to do it, although some people will say there is. I just simply hammered them into the ground and I called down the deities and everything. I said, look, I basically am saying I need protection here. Since that time, there hasn't been a single thing that's happened inside the house.
Wow. So how do you know, how did you know to do that? Is there like some skills that people are passed that they get passed down, or you know what I mean? Like there's different types of remedies for
There's
situations?
there's a ton of different remedies depending on who you talk to. Where I'm living at right now, hoodoo is very prevalent, and they're very helpful, very wise people. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it for generations. If I run into a problem, I go visit one of them. If I can't handle it myself, I don't have a problem with bringing somebody else in.
Mhm.
So they will give me information, say, do this, and it works. If it doesn't work, then I do something of my own, double it up, and it will work.
And I'm just like blown away. Like, I don't, how come, why do you think that this doesn't happen to everybody? I guess I kind of already asked you that, but I'm just still like pondering, how are you
The only the only answer I have to that would be that we've lost touch with who we are
like spiritually?
spiritually, very much so. People don't know who they are anymore. They're so wrapped up in today's material. I've got to pay $60 in gas for my truck, whereas 2 years ago we were paying 15 or 30.
Hmm.
XYZ is happening to me. It's like most people see this and go, it's an amethyst. Big deal.
Yeah.
Amethyst has special properties. Most people don't realize that. But somebody that's in the craft or somebody that's been doing what I've been doing for 4+ decades is going to realize what that is. Tourmaline has other properties, etc., etc. So do herbs like sage. You're probably well aware of what sage is.
Yes.
That kind of thing. Sea salt, holy water, etc., etc. But the essence is that we have lost touch with who we are. That way, you isolate yourself from the world. You're not meant to be isolated from the world.
Like the world itself, the world, like the planet, the living earth.
Yeah, the living earth. Some people say Gaia. I just call it the living earth. My One of my parents was Native, an American Indian. My father was English. I got the English genes. Yeah. So at least that's what my wife tells me all the time. She says, "You got the English look." Thank you. I love you too. Um, in the native culture and everything else, you are so spiritually connected to the land. And those of you that are natives and out there listening to me, Native Americans, will probably understand that more than most because grandfather teaches us lessons. That's what they call in modern religion, they would say God, Jesus, Buddha, whoever. I say grandfather because I honor my Native American past that way.
Do you think that they're purposefully, the powers that be, making us forget like who we are and what we can do physically and mentally? Do you feel like they're like dumbing us down with TikTok and Facebook and stuff like that, like to intentionally pull us away from the powers of the universe and the wonder of space and time and
People,
energy and everything?
the short answer to that is I'm not a conspiracy person, but I do believe that that is part of the truth. Because look at what you have. You have everybody sitting on a computer, going this way, going that way. How many people do you actually know of that spend time in the forest anymore, in woods? Not
I
many.
feel I feel like it's calling me. Like I've like the past like few months, I'm like, I just want to go out to the woods like so bad, but I can't. I'm just like stuck here. I'm just like in this city. I'm like, I just wish so bad that I could live like at least on a few acres where I could just walk around, and ground myself and be out there in the dark and explore. But I'm in a damn city, and I live in a house in a neighborhood where everyone's freaking back to back, and
Yeah.
I envy when you say you lived on a farm. I was like, oh, dude, if I lived there, I'd
Well,
just walk around.
here's a standing invitation. Come visit me. I'll let you walk around as much as you want.
Where you live?
I'm in Southern Ohio.
Oh shit.
Where
I'm
are
in
you?
Texas. South
You're in
Texas.
Texas?
Yeah,
Oh,
South
okay.
Texas.
Yeah. Come on up and say hi. I'll let you walk around the woods. I've got
Yeah.
bobcat, turkey, deer. I've got everything out there.
Wow, man. Is it see that's what I'm talking about. Like I feel like it's the way we're living now is doesn't seem natural. Like I'm in a house on a piece of property surrounded by people that I don't know, um, by stores and cars, and I just feel it doesn't feel right. I would rather be basically like on a farm, like out in the
Yeah.
open, in the world, in the wilderness. Like that's where I feel I should be, but I'm not, and it feels weird. And I don't even think people think about that too much. They just think, oh, I'm gonna go to the store today, and I'm gonna go buy this, and they just live their lives, and no one ever looks up in space. They don't say like, man, I can't believe we live in an endless universe and what's out there and how far does it go, and are there ghosts and are there spirits or demons, you know what I mean? Like people just don't think about these things.
You see, the thing is that you are 100% correct in my word, in my belief, that people are so disconnected anymore because they live in clusters. A hundred
Yeah,
years ago, people were living on farms. It was an agrarian society. Now, most people are dense packed inside of cities.
yeah,
That's where you have most of everything. And everything out here in the world is still here, but people don't realize it. They don't see it anymore. They just drive by and go, it's a tree.
yeah. Exactly. Yeah, when I see a tree I'm like, damn, that's a cool tree. Or like I want to go over there and look at that tree. Like I'm seriously like in love with just looking at nature and being around it. Like I feel my body feels my energy is high and my vibrations are higher. I feel like
Mhm.
when I'm in these situations. I guess
Yeah.
that's why I feel so claustrophobic in these cities, because my mind is always like wondering and thinking about all these cool things, and I'm just stuck in this damn city, and I have like a house on a tiny little piece of property. It's like it's not, I don't know, it sucks. It's good, it's awesome. I'm not complaining. I mean, most people have even less, but I
Right.
want to be out there, you know.
I'll go spend some time. I mean, you're in Texas. You guys have wide open spaces. I've been down there.
Yeah. Oh, it's
And
huge.
yeah, just take a drive, go find yourself some space, set yourself up a chair, enjoy. Just
Yeah.
let it soak through you because that's what you're meant to do. You're not meant to be locked up someplace going, I got to go to the store today, as you were saying, or I got to
Yeah.
worry about my car.
Yeah. Yeah. So is there, I wonder if there's like places in Texas I can just go and just wander around like out in the woods without being shot or arrested. Cause I feel like
Uh,
all this land is like somebody's private property, you know?
yeah, from what I remember when it was down there, there was quite a lot of private property with no trespassing signs slapped all over them.
Yeah. And it's Texas, so everyone has guns.
Yeah, well, so do they here.
Yeah.
um, Try and find yourself a state park, um, fast running water, especially near water or someplace that has a
State
lot of
park.
trees.
Yeah,
Yeah,
state park. That's a good idea. I need to find
and
a
just
state park,
get out there for a day or so. Just
right?
release
Just by
all this stuff.
myself.
Yeah,
Go out there.
yeah, that's what I do. I
Really?
go out there. I mean, I go for walks in these woods around here. The woods around me go on for miles. I've got neighbors. My closest neighbor is 3/4 of a mile away.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you said you've been around the world. Like, what is that experience like?
It taught me things that I had never thought to even think about. I mean, for example, I spent some time with the people in the Middle East when I was in the military, and they showed me their life. It's simplistic, it's very rigid. If you break their laws, they have very specific punishments for
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
But it's very simplistic. It's very down to earth. They have certain set of beliefs. I have great respect for those people in the Middle East because they live the way they believe.
Right. They're practicing what they're preaching at least.
Yes, it's not like you see in the first world countries. A person says they believe this, but they do that.
Right.
That you have to wonder about that. The people in the Far East, when I was there, Thailand specifically, Thailand is a mixed bag. It's like you've got everything from A to Z and back again. If you go to Bangkok, Thailand, well, it was called Bangkok at that time. I don't know what it's called now. I haven't paid attention the last few years. Might still be. Um, the street bazaars, completely awesome. Completely awesome. Everything that's illegal in the United States, they have, for one thing.
What do you mean? Like all the drugs in the book, just like they just like randomly selling it like at a bazaar or something?
Yeah, they sell it at bazaars, and they believe, just like the Middle Eastern people do, in what they call haggling. Do you,
Oh, I
you
love to
understand?
haggle. Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
I'm good at it.
these guys are masters. They
Damn, I
really
like
are.
I belong, dude. I was haggling some old lady today at a garage sale. She
Really?
wouldn't
Did you
budge.
win?
Yeah, kind of. She wanted $20 for a picture, and then I tried to throw in another picture, and then she's like, "That's $5." And then I was like, "Well, what about the two together?" And she goes, "That was $10." I said, "What do you mean? You just said it was $5." And she's like, "Oh, I said that." I'm like, "Yeah." So I just bought one picture. I bought one picture, but I didn't get the real picture that I wanted. She was trying to
Yeah,
charge me $2 for a Beanie Baby. I was like, "What?"
$2.
But
Okay.
anyway,
All right. Beanie Babies up here are collector's items. Some of them go for like
I
$400.
know. That's why I was like, "Damn, maybe I should buy $2. Pay $2 for these Beanie Babies."
Yeah, that works. Wow. Um,
Oh,
the
but
book that I put
go ahead.
out called Ghost. The book that I'm putting out called Ghost
Yeah,
comes out in about a month. It details all the experience of as I've had in my life.
it's called
I'm
Ghosts.
not. Yeah, it's called Ghost. There's a subtitle to it, but I'm still playing around with that
Mm.
subtitle should be. So there's no point in putting it out because it's going to be different by that point. And it goes from point A to point B. When I was a boy, I was 19 years old. I was assigned to the Coast Guard cutter Eagle, the square rig ship that they have. Comes out of New London, Connecticut. A friend of mine was killed on that ship.
What? How?
I'll get to that in a second. I knew it
Okay.
was coming. I knew it was coming. I was basically forewarned about it, but I was not on the ship at that time. I'd been transferred to the base because I was getting ready to go to a school. And I was sitting at this one. It's all in the book in the first chapter too. But this one tree was it was shaped like a chair, for lack of a better description. So I would always sit there. It had a great view of the river. The wind was always coming up. It was pleasant. And all of a sudden, I just sunk into kind of like a trance. I looked over at the ship and I said, "Somebody's going to die." And then I knew who it was. The next day, that ship left. She came back 2 days later. My friend died at sea during a storm.
So this is a true story.
That is a
And
true story. The book is all true, every
oh,
one of
okay.
them.
I thought your first book was a sci-fi.
First book is a sci-fi, but it also has mysticism in it, and there is some things in it that are true also.
Okay, so it's like a mixture.
Yes, but Ghost is 100% true. Everything in it has happened to me.
Awesome, man. Tell me a little bit more about your first book.
Passages is a Native American book. Specifically, it takes place in the Yukon Territory of Alaska. Beautiful area if you ever get up there. Just you never want to come back. Trust me, it does
In
something to you.
Alaska?
Yes.
Is it cold? Is it freezing? Is there this is kind of a tangent, but is it like Greenland? Not Greenland, but is it all ice?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's a lot like the temperate regions, like where I'm at right now. But when it gets cold, it gets cold, and when it snows hard and
Damn.
heavy. It gets down to -30, -40. I think I saw -60 when I was up there.
Good Lord.
Yeah, people's mustaches actually do freeze. Trust me, I know. So the book, to get back to it, a father loses his son in the military is not talking in a training exercise in Yukon Territory. So he leads a six-figure job in New York. Him and his brother move to the area where his son disappeared, which happens to be on native land. And in the hills, they see three different color lights appear every now and then. And when it appears, this is all in the book, by the way, there's thunder and it sounds like there's a freight train coming. And they just float around, they bob in between the lights of hills and all that. They go up in the hills looking for them, although they're not supposed to. And they come back, but they've never found any sign of him. So through a confluence of incidences, they are called to meet with a gentleman in town who is part of the native tribe that governs that area. So you can see where things are starting to link up. There's spirits in the book. There's evil spirits in the book. There's Native American legend lore. It's steeped in mysticism. Basically, if you like Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, you're probably going to love this book.
That's awesome. Have you ever considered doing an audiobook?
It's in process right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's more my speed. I love audiobooks, man. You should
I
definitely do that.
actually have 3 people doing auditions for me right now, and I have to choose in the next 10 days as to which one I want, and then it's going to go up on ACX.
ACX?
Yes.
What is that? A website where you can buy it, or?
It's Amazon's division of audiobooks. They take care of all of it. All I have to do is get it recorded. I can't recommend them enough. I mean, they've been great to work with.
Please let me know when that comes out, and I will definitely pick that up and listen to it. I'm not much of a reader. I love audiobooks though, because I work a lot, and the best time to soak up information is actually when I'm working.
Right.
So I'll listen to like 5-hour podcasts and 20-hour long books, and you know what I mean? I'll just try to get as much information as possible.
If you want to put, I don't know if it's allowed to because I don't know what YouTube does and everything, but if you want to put my email up on there so people can contact me, please feel free.
Absolutely. I'll put it in the show notes. I'll put all your, your link to your book and, your website and basically everything you want me to put up there. I'll put it in there.
Yeah, because the book, to hawk the book a little more, it's 99 cents on Amazon right now. That's where it's going to stay because I don't want to raise it up.
I think I'm just going to buy it and just try to read it. Like I said, I don't read much, but I'll try to read it.
If you got questions or comments, please let me know.
Definitely. Yeah, everyone listening, they can go to Amazon, and for 99 cents, you can get it on your Kindle, which is a hell of a deal. Right?
Yes, it is.
That's as good as it gets right there.
I had one person come to me and send me an email and said, I couldn't put it down. Those were their exact words.
Yeah.
I couldn't put it down. And another author, her name's Isabel Steele. She's got a lot of books of her own out and everything else. So you can see her and you can click on that link. She's a friend of mine. That's why I put that out there. Then what you can do is see these remarks that people leave them by. And then I'm on Goodreads. I'm everywhere.
People love mysteries and stories of aliens and the third kind and the fourth kind and ghosts and all that stuff. Because I don't know where I stand as far as ghosts. I don't think I've ever seen a ghost. I thought I saw a ghost one time because my mom took me to she works for the funeral, and she took me there. And we walked in the wrong room, and there was a dead lady laying on a slab. And I was like, Mom, are you serious? Why did you take me in here? Like, there's some dead lady there. She's like, oh, sorry, son. Anyways, I was kind of like wigged out about it, And that night, it like poured like really hard rain, like super hard rain, thunder, everything. And I walked to the kitchen in the dark, and I looked out. There's like this little window in the kitchen. I looked out the window, and I saw that lady standing out there just looking at me. I completely freaked out, and I ran to my room and I locked the door, and I didn't come out for the rest of the night. That was the only time in my life that I thought I saw for sure a ghost.
Well, I invite you to come along with me. We'll get you to see a few of them.
I don't know what I would do, like, because I'm a Christian, and I don't know if I have a hedge of protection around me, maybe that's stopping demons from entering my aura, my area, you know, but something is something is protecting me, I feel like.
Well, then I would say that you're in your comfort sphere. So if you really want to step outside your comfort sphere, you can. But there is a saying, and it's very true in this business. If you can see them, they can see you.
Damn.
Yeah,
It's almost also like if you look into the abyss will look back at you,
it
you know.
does.
And that's a scary thought. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I would be kind of worried that if I like because you said you have a demon that's been with you forever. Like that terrifies me.
Yeah.
I would be afraid that I would open up a door. Like if I were to start, you know, what do they say? Idle's hand is the devil's play shop. Like if you start dabbling in this kind of crap, you kind of invite it into your life.
I was raised as a pagan.
What do you mean you were
I,
raised as a pagan?
I was raised as a pagan,
What does that even
basically.
mean though? Like your parents were pagans or
Yeah, my mother was gifted with special things. She would walk in front of a television set and turn it off. She'd walk back the other way and it would go back on again. My sister, after she got struck with lightning twice, yeah,
what?
yeah, she got
No.
struck. I'm not kidding you. This is the honest truth.
How do you get hit by lightning twice?
I don't know. I asked her that question. She never did answer me.
Did it fry? It didn't fry her brain or fry
No,
her
but
whole
after
body?
that, no, but after that, she did say that it knocked her for a loop, and I believe it. It's simple.
Well, yeah.
I'm like, yeah. But after that, she was able to make friends with wild animals.
Are you? Oh, shit.
Yeah, she had. I witnessed this one. I was in her condo at the time. This is many years ago now. If you're watching this, hi, I'm still here. The a wild hare, a blue heron, stood probably a beautiful animal, about 5 or 6 feet tall, I believe. Walked in through an open door, and she called him Ernie. And it walked right up to her. She fed it, turned around, and walked out. Now, some people would say that's just training and everything else, but maybe you could explain the next one, or somebody else out there could explain it to me. This big squirrel came running in, jumped up on her, and snuggled with her.
What do you mean? Like just out in the wilderness or like out in the front yard or
Out in her backyard. It just came right in the same way the bird did at a different time, obviously. Jumped up on her and snuggled with her. She's petting it and everything else.
what?
And I'm like, okay. She says, this is normal for me. This happens all the time. This is my family. My mother was like this. My sister was like this. My brother and sister seem to have missed the boat, so I don't know if it's generational or what. But that's the way that is. And another story, real quick. I was in a bad relationship and I had to move quickly. So I went to my brother's house and I helped him rebuild his house. It was an 18th century house. Now, me being the way I am, things happen. So I get into the house and we find out that this house is connected to the Underground Railroad. It had 5 cellars with a tunnel in the bottom.
No way.
Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh on Mount Olive.
You said your brother's house?
Yeah, my brother's house. Him
So
and
there
his
was a
wife bought it.
freaking tunnel under his house.
Yeah, there's a freaking tunnel underneath his house. Excuse my language. So it was partially caved in, but it was enough to where I could walk in at a couple feet and everything. This was actually used for the transport of slaves out of the South to the North during that era.
Yeah.
Now, immediately following this, because I was staying with them, they started seeing people. They saw a big gray dog running up and down the steps. I got a weird feeling. I took out the Verizon cell phone that I had at the time, flip phone, one of the old dinosaurs, and it had a camera on it, pointed it back that way, and there was this entity standing right behind me. I got a picture of him and showed it, and the girl's name was Tiffany, and she sat there and she says, "How does he do that?" And my brother says, "I don't know. He's got some weird power."
That's
Yeah,
crazy, dude.
that
So
actually happened.
you seem like a man that has thousands of stories, like thousands upon thousands.
I do. I've tended to stay to the shadows because I see all these people and everything else that go, for lack of a better term, completely off because they
Mad.
like, yeah, because they like all the fame and the attention they get from it and everything else.
Yeah.
But I'm 63 years old now. So I figured I was going to put it all in print for once. And I've got 1,200 discs, kind of like this is just one stack.
Of what is that?
Evidence.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
What do you
I've got
mean? What do you mean, like JPEGs of
I got
pictures, tons of
yeah,
pictures, or
I've got JPEGs, I've got audio. Going back to Fallsington again, there was this 16th century cabin that the state of Pennsylvania rebuilt from the Swedish settlers that came over in the 16th century. I'll send you the picture. It's a
please?
lightning bolt that's coming out of a a period piece of wood going to the roof, and at the same time, I got a recording that says "You're yumping on my head."
Yumping?
Yeah, in Swedish from that era.
Oh,
And we found out later that there was an unmarked grave behind the house that I was walking on.
wow.
So the guy's still there talking.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
You seem like I was gonna say that next. That you seem like you have a lot of stories. You're kind of like you just you don't really you gotta like be asked to tell them. Like you were saying about the fame and all that stuff. Like you just seem kind of more like you just keep it inside a little bit. Like
I have.
I gotta pry it out of you
I
to
have.
get
I
some of
did.
those.
I keep it to myself because a lot of people were saying this is a bunch of BS.
But that's not fun. Like
No, it's not.
what's the mystery in life if you're just gonna be like, oh, science says this and there's no other way around it. These are the rules of science and there's no such thing as anything else, which I
Well,
think is a load of crap.
then I have a question for these people. I want to have somebody answer this because I don't think anybody's ever answered it, including me. It's like, if the world is full of absolutes, how do you explain ghosts?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
how do you explain eternity?
yeah. How do you
How do you
explain a person's belief in a certain religion? Not to knock that because every one of them is precious to everybody.
yeah. How do you explain atoms, microscopic atoms forming a whole human,
Yeah,
working in concert, a brain? You can't
no,
explain it.
you can't.
And
But
it's
people,
yeah, it's like people could look at freaking Mount Everest and be like, "Oh, that's just a rock covered in snow." Like
yeah,
they don't, or they look at a phone and they're like, "Oh, it's just a computer." Like somebody built that damn phone.
yeah.
And even the phone is like freaks me out. Like, how
Mhm.
is a signal, an invisible signal, being sent to my phone, or even this camera for that matter? I'm looking at you at I don't know Ohio, and it's like seamless and it's live. That's amazing. It's incredible
Our ancestors would have called it magic.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Yep. So
So
I have a couple of more questions for you. I don't want to keep you too long. I feel like I'd like to have you back, man, because I feel like you got a lot of stories to tell, a lot of experiences.
you have my email. Let me know.
Definitely. So I was looking at your bio. So it says here that you had made a deal offered to you by a demon.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I can. It came to me in a dream, as most things like this do. Very rarely will you actually have something physically come up and say, hey, let's make a deal behind door 1, 2, or 3. It's not like that. So what happens is that I'm sleeping and I'm in a room. Also, I call it a room. It was completely pitch black, but not like you're thinking completely pitch black. It's more like charcoal gray with stuff floating around, for lack of a better description. And this entity showed up, which looked like a squid, but all I saw was the backside of it. All I could see was the tentacles and the beak. And then it said to me, We can make you strong and powerful. And remember being there for a few seconds, and I said, no, thank you, please leave. A few seconds later, it did. And then I woke up. I researched that particular entity from one end to the other. I found it.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a recruiter, is what
A
it is.
recruiter.
Yeah, the other side has a recruiter. So it will make a deal with you, and they will keep you their word right to the letter. This much I have seen from people I've talked to that have made that deal.
What's the deal?
And
Like selling your soul
for lack of a better opinion, yes.
to
Selling
demons?
selling your soul to demons, the higher dark powers, because you have the tree of life, you have the infernal tree of life. They're exact mirrors of each other. Now, if you use
Yeah.
that in Judeo-Christian, you have God, you have the devil. Exact opposites of each other. But at the same time, once you're on that radar, you're always going to be visited. Always. It's happened to me, and it will continue to the day I die. I know that.
What do you mean they'll continue? Like they'll keep popping up and asking you, "Hey, come on, sign the deal."
Sometimes they will. I haven't had it happen again yet, but I expect it will happen at some point.
Do you consider
But
yourself? Do you consider yourself a believer in God?
yes, I believe in God. I believe in Buddha. I believe in Jesus. I believe in all of them because to me, they actually exist. But the one that I go with, like I said in the beginning, is grandfather, which
Right.
is the
Eternal.
the
Maybe the
eternal, maybe you would call it God, but I call him grandfather. He has many lessons to teach us throughout our life, and apparently he's not done with me yet.
Do you believe in an afterlife?
I've seen it. I know it
Oh
exists.
shit. You've seen it?
Yeah. I was asleep in my home one day, and my wife was sitting at the kitchen table, and she was sitting there talking to somebody else. The note I said I was asleep. I found myself floating in the hallway. I could see her. That's just one example. They call it astral projection.
Yeah.
But
Astral projection.
energy can't be destroyed. It can only be change its form. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm here. In 60 years, who knows what form I'm going to be in?
What do you
But it's
mean?
still
Like your
energy.
what do you mean like your spirit?
Yes, my spirit. It can be, if you believe in reincarnation like the Eastern religions do, then you're reincarnated into something else, either higher or lower, depending on what you did in your life. It's kind of like their version of if you were a bad boy, you might get reincarnated as a worm.
Yeah. Can all religions be true at once?
Yes, why not? I believe they all can be true. There's one common thread throughout eternity as far as people are concerned, the belief in an afterlife.
Right. No matter which way you spin it, that's kind of where it all leads to.
Yeah, we're only here for 100, 120 years.
If that,
And
not
then,
even
if
that.
that, yeah, I've seen people die in so many ways. It's not even funny. My past vocation was emergency medical services, so I've seen a lot.
Oh,
Yeah, EMS.
you've seen people drop out?
I've seen people die. I've seen people shot, blown up, stabbed, ripped in
What?
half. Yeah.
How's that? Because you worked for the military doing that, or
Yeah, I worked in the military doing that, and I did it for 40 years also in conjunction with being paranormal in the civilian world.
do you think that I know like when people die, like the light leaves their eyes. Have you ever seen anything at that moment?
Yeah, I have several times, but one comes to mind. The gentleman was in the back of the rig. I have to be careful what I say because I want to
Yeah, I
break
don't
patient
want to.
confidentiality.
Right, right.
And he passed. I saw him as he left.
What do you mean? Like you saw him float up or something?
Yeah, I saw his spirit as it left.
Was it like in a ghost form?
It was more like a wisp of vapor, is what I saw.
Really?
Yeah, and then it was gone. Just went right through the side of the vehicle, and he passed.
Hmm.
There's a ship in Pennsylvania, in Penn's Landing. It's called the USS Olympia. You can look it up. I'm gonna send you some pictures you're not gonna believe.
Dude, I want you to send me every single picture you're willing to send me. And
Well, that computer, I'm gonna fill it up.
I will try my best to maybe do like a screen record, and if you don't mind, maybe at the end of the podcast I'll maybe put up some of the pictures like in a short clip. You know what I mean? So people can
I
see
do not mind.
so people can see some of the stuff that we're talking about, because I'm pretty sure people listening are like, dude, I want to see that too badly.
Yeah, I give
You
you
know?
permission to use all these pictures any way you want to. Just one thing, they stay with you, and they have to have my name attached to it.
Right. I was gonna say put your credit on there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the deal, man.
Okay. All right.
So let me ask you a couple more. Are you in a hurry right now? I don't
No,
want to
not at
waste your
all.
time. Okay.
No,
I'm
you're
going
not
to
wasting my time.
okay, cool. I'm going to a concert at in 2 hours. I'm gonna go see 311. That's gonna be
Oh,
fun.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I see a thing. So I see a picture behind you says passage, but then there's another one that says AI.
Yeah. That's
What is
another
that?
book that AI, it's basically what Elon Musk and Facebook are working on artificial intelligence. That's a book that I'm putting together past Ghost. I'm in the concept stage now, but I've already picked out the cover, as you can see.
Yeah, it looks cool.
And I do all my own cover work.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you doing
And I
what
use Canva.
Canva?
Canva. I can't recommend them enough. I really can't. They
You'd have
are
to tell me a
excellent.
little bit more about that later.
Okay, not a problem.
Yeah.
The book is basically. Have you ever seen a movie called Synchronicity?
No, but I will watch it tonight. I love it. I love getting movie requests.
Okay,
I
well, watch
always
that
watch them
one.
too. In
Watch
fact,
that one.
I'm writing that sucker down because I need to watch that.
Watch a movie called Synchronicity. It explains the entire thing, but I can't. I'm not going to go after what's already done. This is going to be a sci-fi heavy book, extremely sci-fi heavy, pure imagination. The
Right.
one I'm working on now is called Ancients. It'll be out in about it's a 2 book set. The first volume is just about to be done now, and it's also like that. It's about an antediluvian city that rises after several millennia,
How
and
many
it
books are
has.
you writing?
I have 5 completed right now, and another 6 that I'm writing.
Wow, you're writing 6 like simultaneously?
Yeah, and they're all multi-genre.
Hey, you're a busy man. That's a lot.
I like to write.
Yeah, you need a new computer rig, man. I can hook you up.
Yeah, send me the stuff. I'm gonna build one.
For sure, man. For
Yeah,
sure. But that is amazing, dude. Like, is that like your main job that you get to write books and stuff? Or
I'm partially retired right now.
oh, okay, right, because you were in the
I
military and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I still work 3, 4, 5 shifts a month down at the hospital that I work for, and other than that, I'm out tending the farm, the animals, and writing. That's my life right now.
What kind of animals you got?
I have 2
Chickens?
bad, yeah, I have 2 bad cats, a dog. 35 chickens is what we're going to be getting.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we've been talking about getting uh, probably merino sheep, but we're not sure about that. So that's what we're all learning about right now. When I was a kid, I had a lot of experiences on the farm, so I maintain all
Nice.
that.
So back to the farm. Do you ever go out there and do you ever see any stuff, any things, or out there in the
Yeah,
woods? Are the woods a good place to have some type of encounters, you think?
depending on what's in there. In this area, it's been inhabited for 200 plus years. There's actually grave sites in the woods that are unmarked. So yes.
Dang, that are just random graves out there.
Yeah, well, it used to be somebody's property years and years ago, but it got sold off or mixed with somebody else's property, and they don't know it's there. And I'm
Mm,
walking through the woods, and you get an experience. You have something whisper at you. You see something move. Like again, looking out my window up here a little bit towards the north end of the farm right now. Occasionally I'll see something flash by the window real quick. It's not a bird. I know that because the way the house is structured, the bird would be like, it'd be like a kamikaze. You'd hear it. Yeah.
Cool.
So it has to be something else. But what that is, I don't know yet.
Dang. So are you still pursuing all this stuff? Like, are you still ghost hunting and looking for things and doing all that stuff?
Yeah.
Still collecting evidence and whatnot?
Yeah. That's an ongoing, it will be ongoing throughout most of my life until I get too old to actually get up in the morning.
Yeah.
So there's a place that I would highly recommend. Actually, there's three of them. They're all commercial sites, but Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in West Virginia, highly recommended. It's a very nice place. I personally have not been there yet, but I've read and seen all the details that have come out of that place. That's next on my radar.
Did you just say loony bin?
No, Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
Lunatic asylum. Same thing,
Yes,
right?
yeah, that's what it's called. I highly recommend that place. Another
I
one's
want to go
called
there.
Shawnee Abandoned. It's been several years. Amusement park down in West Virginia, south of Charleston. I don't remember its exact location. We were there once, myself and my wife, and there's a vortex there. You've seen the trick where the guy sits there and he holds the broom and he puts it on in the middle of the floor and it stands by itself.
Yeah.
Well, they did that. They did that while we were there.
Uh-huh.
And he handed me the broom. I looked at it. There's nothing there. There's no magnets. There's no
Yeah.
lights. There's no nothing on this
Just a
thing. It's
broom.
just a regular broom you pick up out of like the dollar store. So he puts it back there. I reach out. He says, "Go ahead, take it." I got hit with a bolt of energy that knocked me back 6 feet. I
Crazy.
almost ended up on my butt. And he says, "Now you're attuned. So this place is going to be open to you." He was right. I saw a lot of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool. I want to go to some kind of place that, I could possibly see something,
I
or
would
feel something.
suggest I would suggest that you find the oldest possible public cemetery you can find.
Come on, dude. You want me to walk through a whole cemetery? So how
Take
would
a
I do that?
friend. Take a
So what
friend
would
with
I
you.
do? Go at night?
No, you can go through during the day.
Really?
You can go to a place again, a place that I frequent. It's called the Ghost Store. It's in Tom. Used to be in Toms River, New Jersey. You can get it online.
What is it?
These places. It's basically an equipment store for ghost hunters.
Oh, I wanted to ask you that. Is there a certain type of camera or equipment that, that
If you're not sensitive, then I would suggest that you get an all full spectrum camera.
full
It
spectrum?
hits everything. And the pictures that come out of it look like they're violet in color, but
Mm-hmm.
it shows everything. You can
Okay.
get yourself a multimeter. You can get all kinds of different equipment through them. Look at their catalog online. They're awesome to work with. I like them.
What's it called again?
It's called the Ghost Store.
Ghost store.
Yeah, it's out of, you can get it online. I'll have to look again and see if I have the actual address and everything. I'll send it to you.
Cool, man. So let me ask you a couple more questions. What is like the most haunted place you've ever been to? Or the most terrifying or any of that, you know?
Okay, well, let's go the most haunted first. The most haunted place I've ever been to, that's a toss up between about 5 or 6 different places. I'll just pull one. Fort Mifflin on the Ohio. Fort Mifflin is a Revolutionary War fort. I endorse this place specifically because it is unbelievably haunted.
What
If
is
you
it
ever,
exactly?
it's a Revolutionary War fort back from
A
the days.
fort?
It's a fort. It's an actual fort.
What do you mean by that? Like a small cabin type deal?
No, it's an actual military fort. If you look up Fort Mifflin on the Delaware, you'll see it. Complete with ramparts, moats, everything.
Cool.
This place is absolutely raging.
Like a
I mean,
legit fort.
oh, a real legit fort. They hold events there. You can get passes to go in there by yourself. The soldiers' barracks is haunted. The torpedo casement is haunted. If you go in there, tell Jeremiah I said hello. Yeah, I know their names. I
The
was there that
ghost.
long. Yeah. There's casement 11. There's something that lives down there. The officers' quarters, I hope they rebuild it by now. I haven't been there in a long time. The entire grounds are haunted. If you go there at night, they used to hold ghost tours at night. If you go there, you spend about 60, $70 to spend the entire night there. You're almost guaranteed to come away with some kind of a event.
Experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had the World War II day. They had the reenactors for the Nazis that were in the bunker. Actually, they called them the casements. I think they were in casement 4 at that time. And the guys were coming out and said something's in there throwing the switches on their machines, literally.
Hmm?
Yeah, in the casements, there's a spirit named Willie. If you're a blonde female, you can expect them to play with your hair. Yeah,
Wow.
Willie was saying that he's scared of going to hell.
Really?
Yeah, so when the angels come through looking for him, he hides from them. He's been there for a good long time, a couple 100 years.
Crazy.
Yeah, I can't recommend the place enough. Please go.
Is it in Ohio?
No, it's in Pennsylvania.
Oh, I thought you said okay.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. So
Yeah.
what about Antarctica?
Antarctica. Yeah, I was there.
What the hell? How the hell did you get to Antarctica? I thought you couldn't. I thought you could only go to the edge.
Not
Or
if
not.
you're in the military.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Tell me more.
I'll tell you offline. I'll tell you offline.
What?
Yeah, I'll tell you
So,
offline.
dang it. I bet you everyone listening is like, no, tell me now. Tell us.
They
Hold
just
on.
found
Okay.
Shackleton's ship, by the way.
Shackleton ship?
Yeah, they just found it a couple months ago. But from what I saw, they were thinking about raising it.
What is that?
Ernest Shackleton, I think his name was. It was an Antarctic explorer back in the early part of the century. His ship sunk, and it was the most epic survival story you'll ever read.
Wow.
Most of them survived, but the ship sunk.
What year was that?
I think it was in the either 1800s or early 1900s. I'm not quite
Mm,
sure of either one.
I have to look that up.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with Antarctica? Why are they not letting people go there? Do you think there's something going on over there like it's really secret?
Oh, there's stuff going on down there. There is a lot of stuff going on down there.
Oh hell.
Yeah.
That freaks me out.
Offline.
Oh man. Um there's some people that are in the truth community and the conspiracy community that would say that there's a lot of stuff going on in Antarctica. That's why I had written it down. I wanted to ask you about that because, for one, Hitler was talking about putting bases there in World War
New
II.
Schwabeland.
New Schwabeland?
New Schwabeland.
That's what it was called?
Yeah.
Damn. And a lot. And then there was a operation. Some guy flew over there and he said that there was like more Greenland and some kind of entity like shot at him and he had to turn around. I think it was called Operation High Jump.
High Jump. It was High Jump.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Do you think it's like there's like hollow earth, like there's like a portal down there, or maybe there's more land on the other side that they're not telling us about? Or
The only thing that I will tell you, is that if you look at the Earth, when they've done radar explorations of the Earth from orbit and they shine the radar down, they find stuff here that, like they found Troy, they found ruins of other cities and everything else that were fabled. They actually existed. Nobody could find them on the ground because there's no traces left, but from orbit you could see it.
yeah,
Now take that for what it's worth.
and then shoot it over Antarctica,
Yeah.
and then we'll see what the deal is. Because I think that there's something really, really weird going on over there, and especially because the whole world has a treaty that they can't claim that place and no one can go there. Like that's not for no reason. There's something's going on over there. So
All I
what
can
did you
tell you.
Did you actually step foot on it?
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
As part of the military operation thing
I was in the military, but I set
at that
foot
time?
there. Yeah, let me tell you, the penguins down there are 6 feet tall.
You're lying, dude. What do you
No, I'm
mean?
not.
What do you mean?
Look
What?
up Emperor Penguin.
Holy shit. Emperor penguin?
Emperor Penguin.
No way. There's a 6 foot tall penguin over there.
Yeah, with an attitude.
You saw it?
Yeah.
No way. It was 6 foot tall.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them.
What?
They're a species.
No
Emperor
way.
penguins. Yeah.
Are they normal looking penguins? Are they just regular penguins, but they're
They
gigantic?
look like penguins. They're about my size. I'm 6'2", and they're just slightly shorter than I was.
Holy crap. How did I not know about that?
I don't know. You live in the city.
So, man, dude, Antarctica, dude, that's interesting. Interesting. I'm totally freaked out about that place, man.
No, the Arctic isn't much different.
The Arctic,
Yeah, the North Pole isn't a whole lot different.
yeah, you don't hear much about that. What's the deal over there?
The Arctic, Alaska specifically, is probably one of the most haunted places you're ever going to run across.
Alaska?
Yeah,
Think so.
you don't talk about it a lot.
Yeah, I
There's
don't hear much about that.
there's this one island that I drove by on my way to my favorite fishing spot. Very short story, very fast.
Mhm.
That has a cable car that's attached to one side of the hill that leads to an island in the middle of the river. You're not allowed to go to that island. No one's allowed to go to that island
How big
except
is
for the
it?
natives. Probably about a quarter mile around. It's huge.
Wow. So you can just see it.
It's You can see it, but you can't go there.
You cannot go there.
You cannot go there. I saw lights on that island, and there's nobody on that island. The entire island is a graveyard.
What?
Yeah,
Can anybody go there?
you can go. Anybody can go down that road. Yeah, but
But you can't
nobody.
go to the island?
You can't go if they catch you on that island. It's not going to be good. And that
Man.
island is always watched.
Yeah. So I've heard that there's a lot of uh alien activity in Alaska. I mean, if you've seen the movie The Fourth Kind, there's some people
Yeah.
disappearing over there.
And the fourth kind, there's a YouTube thing that I watch called The Fifth Kind.
The Fifth
You
Kind.
need to, yeah, you need to look that up. I forget the gentleman's name right off the bat, but he's extremely good at what he does. I highly recommend it.
Oh, that brings me to let me ask you one more question. I'll let you go, man.
Okay,
By the way, this has been awesome. Thanks again for coming on the show.
no problem.
I love hearing all these stories, man. It's awesome. So, do you think that the shows that are like on A&E and Travel Channel and all this stuff, like, are those dudes legit, or do you think they're just putting on a show?
My own personal opinion is that I believe it to be great entertainment. I like watching them.
Yeah.
Every one of them is different. Every one of them explains something in a different way. That's as far as I'm going to go with that.
So basically, it's like a form of entertainment, but it's like watching a World War II movie. It's not the war, but it's just like a movie of it, almost. Is that a
For
good
me,
analogy?
yeah, it would be. But I'm saying to you and everybody that's listening to this, I believe it to be great entertainment as far as I'm concerned. I like watching it.
Mhm.
Like I would watch this show, that show, another show, this person saying this person saying that,
Mhm.
this person doing this, and this person performing this, so on and so forth. To me, it's all great entertainment.
Yeah.
I like watching those kind of things, but are they truthful? Or is there some sort of hijinks going on behind the scenes? I have no knowledge of that at all.
Yeah. So even if it was somewhat made up, it's still entertaining, basically, regardless.
I don't know if it's made up or if it's actual true happenings or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not there when it's going on, but I watch it and I enjoy it.
Yeah. But I mean, this stuff goes down for real. I mean, you've experienced tons of it. So,
Yeah, I've seen a lot, and there's a lot more that I haven't said yet.
Well, I'm gonna have to have you back on, Ogburn, if you let me, because I feel like I said, you have lots of stories to tell, and I just
Yeah.
love talking about this stuff.
You have my email. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay. All right, Ogburn. Thank you again, man. Is that your first name? I wanted to make sure I get it right.
Yes, Ogburn is the first name.
Okay, Ogburn Charles.
Yes.
You killed it, man. Thank you. That was awesome.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, man. I'm gonna keep in touch. We'll keep in touch.
Right. Bye.